have received the Rotary magazine. How many of you read it?
Are we starting?
Today's prayer is going to be dedicated to what we do after Thanksgiving, after we've eaten the turkey and the leftovers. And the beauty of this message in this amazing magazine is the language of hope and the language of empathy. Let these brief readings be our prayer. Empathy is central to who we are as human beings. I talk about it as the centripetal force of storytelling. It's also the centripetal force of community. It's what holds us together. It's what binds us. It's part of what we are as humans, but it takes some effort. It is not as if we're naturally inclined to think of ourselves as somebody else. It takes a leap of imagination. Alex Kotlowitz, and the word of faith from Archbishop Desmond Tutu, our world is having to learn a very simple lesson, that actually we're all family. And let's take a moment in prayer for Bo Jackson, past president, who is now in hospice. A moment of silence. We thank you, O Lord. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we fast,
Anything we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill wherever there is just? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? For spacious skies, forever waves of rain, for purple mountains, majesty above the cruising plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Larry. And now for our introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians, Andrew Troller.
Oh, maybe not.
There we go.
All right, to start us off, we have Blair.
Today with me, I have Eric Gardner. He is a board certified criminal trial lawyer in the public defender's office, and he also happens to be my husband.
Hey.
Good afternoon. I am proud to have with me this afternoon one of the Learning Resource Center's wonderful program managers, Beth Brookline. Beth works with our students in a lot of our Title I programs. Those are the students who are homeless. They are migrant children. They are in the lowest socioeconomic strata, and also with the juvenile justice system. She's also a foreman.
My guest today is Jay Quillen. He is the Vice President of Community Lending for Valley Bank, which means he covers small business lending for women and minority-owned businesses.
We got to be careful. I think Kiwanians are infiltrating. I'm going to introduce my wife, Jackie Maxey. Jackie is the leader as president of the Co-Lakeland, and she's here today to kind of see how things are really
And for our visiting Rotarian, we have Steve Moore from the Lake Coast Breakfast Club.
Hi, Steve. They're not infiltrating, they're just seeing the light. All right, now with Happy Dollars, Cody Cheek.
All right, who's happy?
I am happy because we are having a contractor come and look at the garage today to see how much it's going to be to change it into a studio for my personal training business. So if you're a contractor, I'm taking bids, and about that business loan, I'll talk to you later.
So today I am happy for Rice Philpott and Rotary Foundation Committee. And I have put in a check for my contribution to become a Paul Harris Fellow.
Well, it isn't much to brag about, but the Gators don't stink as bad as Florida State.
Thank you. I am putting in $2 here. I'm elated to share that Career Source Hope was just approved for a grant for $1.2 million to serve veterans. Long-term career paths, and as well as the trailing spouses or spouses of the veterans and underserved, underrepresented populations in the IT industry and communication. The second is, so Georgia Tech had a game. But that's neither here nor there. My son is definitely graduating on December 18th. Master's degree and play for 2 more years. Thank you.
Thank you. My happy dollars are about my wife. Last weekend, I had the honor of watching her be appointed as the Alumni of the Year for Florida A&M University.
Okay, so we have Lydia Boyd. She's joining us via Zoom, and she's happy Michigan beat Ohio State. As hard as that is for me to type. Okay. She's also happy Michigan State beat Penn State.
So I've got a happy dollar. I couldn't let the, you can't spell scum without UM slide. So being a Miami Hurricane alumni, I am ecstatic that our season continues with the bowl game while Florida State sits on the couch.
Not much to brag about, but Mizzou's better than Florida. MIC.
Anybody else love football?
All right, that's it? Okay, now for singing, Dorsey Hightower.
Turn to number 20, and I've got a few things. It won't matter, but anyway, we found out, Mike, they're really old MacDonald did have a farm, and I had something I was going to tell you about that. You know, he has pigs, and he has cows and horses and sheep and the whole works. They also found out he had a 50-acre marijuana farm out in the back. And they used to, I'm sure it was for medicinal purposes, but Willie Nelson was singing there quite a bit of the time. It's You Pick 'em, I think was the way. Anyway, we're gonna sing, I want you to stand up. He's almost halfway through his year and he's doing a great job. So let's sing for He is a Jolly Good Fellow.
All right.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny. He's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Well, some of you know that's not true. And for those of you that don't, I've got 6 more months to prove it. All right, we have a few announcements. If the following folks could make their way up: Bryce, Stephanie, Jim, and Pam. And while they're doing that, the Salvation Army angels are here. They're in the back. There are 36 of them, so grab one early if you want. If you don't get one and you still want to participate, you can purchase $25 gift cards to Walmart or Target, and we'll make sure that we get those to the Salvation Army. Also, we are going to do Visti boxes again this year, so check your email. Details will be coming, but that'll be in the next couple of weeks. All right, Bryce, you want to go first?
Well, in the last Rotary meeting, we gave our foundation presentation, and I'm just noting how the crowd is slightly bigger for the cannabis presentation today. But don't blame me, don't blame me. So since that presentation, we have added 6 Paul Harris Fellows, 5 members to Rotary Direct, and raised over $8,000, which, considering it was over Thanksgiving, pretty darn good. So one of the things we are focusing on, so first off, we do want to kind of increase the number of Paul Harris Fellows to work our way back to 100% club. So we're reaching out to those people via email. But more importantly, we're trying to reach those people for Rotary Direct. So Rotary Direct is signing up for automatic payments each year. You can do it one time per year, every month, however you want. And I want to share a startling statistic with you. If you remove those people from Rotary Direct members over the last 3 years from the equation, those remaining members who don't choose to do Rotary Direct, only 18% of those remaining members gave to the Rotary Foundation. I don't believe that's because they made that choice. At least that's not my thought. I think most of us are so busy. Shoot, I've been on a hiatus for a long period of time. If I hadn't been signed up for Rotary Direct, I guarantee you I would have not given anything to the Rotary Foundation. So I just want everyone to deliberate. Whether it's you're not a Paul Harris Fellow, think over it. When you get my email, if it's not the time for you, just shoot it back and say, I've considered it, Bryce. Now's not the time. Same with Rotary Direct. If you want to send in a paper check and you're good about it and you know you will, that's cool with me too. I just want you to think about it. Because by not choosing to sign up for Rotary Direct, you are putting yourself in a pool of people who 82% will not give. So just take the time, think about it now, and make that deliberate choice one way or the other. I appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the things we talked about at that foundation meeting was how we support some of the local charities, and one of those this year was the Peace River Center. And just timely, we got a thank you note today that I'll just share with you guys. Dear friends, thank you. I want to express my sincerest appreciation for your donation of $4,766 in support of Peace River Center's Children's Services Engagement Boxes. Your contribution allows us to create opportunities for families to learn and engage together to promote the child's overall wellness. Funding allows us to purchase items such as therapeutic workbooks and engagement resources to assist with providing specific activities, sensory boxes to assist with stimulation and emotional regulation, physical activities such as soccer balls, goals, basketballs and baskets, bicycles and scooters, Boxes are created specifically with what the family engagement and emotional needs are. Because of your support, we'll be able to assist 84 clients. Thank you for improving and strengthening family dynamics. Sincerely, Ileana Nix, Director of Development and Community Relations. So your donations towards the Rotary Foundation, some of that money comes back to us, and this is what we get to do with it. So thank you for all of you that participate with the foundation, and for those of you that are not, please consider doing so. All right, next, Stephanie.
Quick question. When are the Salvation Angels due? When are the toys?
The 14th.
The 14th. Okay, thank you. So all toys are due back here on the 14th. Thank you, Beth. Okay, so I want to share a quick story.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks. Wrapped or unwrapped? I'm sorry. Before I get into the story, wrapped presents December 14th here on that day. Due that day. Thank you. So last weekend, I had the pleasure of joining my husband in DC for a military trip. And as you all know, he's been in the Air Force forever. So, and I'm so grateful for that, and all of our servicemen and women. But we took a couples enrichment program class, and we had to take a test, kind of like a DISC profile type test, but not based on your professional environment, more like your personal home life. And it turns out I'm very, very high in one category. And I think you all will agree that it is the fun category. So anything over 100 is like exceptionally, that's my category, the fun category. Like I'm all about people and laughter and being in big groups. And I was like, oh, that's kind of very fitting for me, everything that I do. So I'm the social director of Leadership Lakeland. I'm our social director here. And I love it. I love being with a bunch of people. So thank you for allowing me to do that. But it was not like surprising to find out that that's who I am. But also Tony was kind of high in that category, which shocked me. So he's really serious all the time. So I don't know. No, he's not. He's a good guy. So anyways, so upcoming events, December 2nd, this Thursday, Christmas parade watch party over at Hugh Turbyville's building. It's on the corner of Orange and Lake. We are providing food by Jimbo's. It's $10 per person to come. Easy way to get in the, I'm sorry, 12. Sorry, I'm so
Inflation.
stuck in the past. Yes, inflation. My bad. 5.7% though. That's where we are. Anyways, so $12. Thank you. So sorry. $12 for food. And we need cleanup people and setup people. So please email me. I will send out an email again today and tomorrow until I get enough people to help with that process. December 10th, Coffee Talk with Nate. If you want to come and listen to him, then come see us over at Kaiser University. I'm sure he'll have some interesting information for us at 7:45 a.m. January 20th, Ryan McCullen at International Diamond Center is hosting us, and he's going to teach us all about diamonds. We'll have some drinks and some education on the 4 C's of diamond characteristics. And February 15th, Aprons Dinner again. Did I say 14th, 15th? February 15th, we'll host the Aprons Dinner again at the cooking school. So we'll get those details out to you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm a fun category, clap for me.
Stephanie, we could have done that assessment for you and you wouldn't have had to go there. Nate asked me to give just a short update about Know and Grow this afternoon. And as I look out over my audience, I see so many of you that have come to help us with that program. It's the President's Project for this year. And I should have those who help come up and help explain, but most of you already know that it's a workshop format for parents of elementary school children to learn more about technology and the devices that they can use to help their children with there's not only school, but with some other areas too that we found out. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. So we finished the 3 sessions at Crystal Lake. We've completed the 3 sessions at Philip O'Brien, and we're looking toward next week, 3 sessions at Highland City Elementary School. December 6th, 7th, and 8th. I believe it starts at 5 for these sessions, and we'll go till about 7. There's dinner and food, and then the children of the families are taken off for their own workshop and training, lots of fun things. Theodore Winterhaven was there with our last session at Philip O'Brien. And then the families will stay and they will be trained in not only how to turn on an iPad or a laptop, but how to maneuver through all of those systems, as well as the addition of resources that they can add to whatever their device is. And we found out something really astonishing, I think, in our evaluations that we took of the last session at Philip O'Brien. The thing that was the most important to these parents was that they got resources and information and education about how to keep their children safe on devices. The things that they could do to block or to guide or to even augment what their children were doing on the device. We haven't gotten the devices yet. We hope to get them soon and make that presentation. Everyone who's attended as a family has received a certificate, and they will get a brand new iPad, I have another program that's doing laptops. iPad, and with everything that they need, keyboard, case, to take home for their very own. And that's where we need help for the rest of the project. Many of you have already donated and supported the project. We ask for you to go to the website and the Rotary website and please join us in helping our community being better informed, better protected, and better able to help our students.
Thank you, Pam.
Help. We're bell ringing for the Salvation Army again. What a surprise. And this is part of the fun activities. Now, our first day is this Friday, the 3rd of December. And we still have 1 slot open, and I don't want to have to call the Salvation Army and tell them they need to send someone to fill that slot in for all of us in this club. And if I don't see someone sign up for today, I'm going to start making phone calls. This is the 4 to 6 slot on Friday. Larry.
Sign me up.
So, I was just going to say, this is the best slot because you get to see the sun go down. So, anyway, that's settled. Now, there's still other slots. The sheets are back there. You can also sign up on the website, not from the app, but going through Club Runner, which sounds like a contradiction, but it is different. And I just showed Joel how to sign on, and me showing someone how to sign on a computer or a phone is like Barney Fife teaching a gun safety course. So, but just for some housekeeping, one other thing, I also need phone callers. If you don't want to ring, do a shift, or if you want to do more than just a shift, we also need 11 people to call. And that's the person that calls everyone the day before they're supposed to ring and remind them of their shift. That's an important job also. For a little housekeeping, got notice from Salvation Army, and they sent me a little instructional video and so forth. And one thing they request in their bullet points is that we wear masks while we're ringing. The video says they require masks, but they are also following the CDC guidelines. Now, if anybody here knows exactly what the CDC guidelines are today, please let me know. But I do know that this church has been following the CDC guidelines strictly, and we dropped the mask indoors in worship and so forth and in here a few weeks ago. And also we're ringing outdoors. We will be outside. Now, whether Publix might have a different rule or not, I don't know. But let me say that if anybody wants or needs to wear a mask, please feel free to do that. That's quite your right, and please do so if you feel that way. I'm lucky enough to work and live in an environment and where about 99% of the time I don't have to think about wearing a mask. I wore one this morning for a little over an hour out at the Watson Clinic, and I've had a horrible headache ever since. So it's up to y'all. Is there any questions about signing up or any of that? Nope. I'll be glad to expound on anything if you need me to. I do want to, one thing they do mention, if somebody comes up to you while you're ringing and they want to get mired up in politics or questions or insults or whatnot, please direct them back to your local Salvation Army office and don't try to fence with them there. I do want to read you a message from Captain Jeremy. Okay, I'll skip the question. Does anyone want to hear about concrete block? Okay.
Well, thank you, Jim. For all of you looking for free samples of gummies today, I apologize, unless they're in this bag. Otherwise, Stacy, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So I do have samples, don't all jump at once. Just so you know. Here's a sample. Here's a sample. Sample.
You carry that around all the time?
I'm so proud. Sample, just what you all were looking for, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what I thought. So here's the other sample. Another sample. Does this look familiar to anyone?
Yeah.
Well, probably not as familiar as the samples we thought we were going to get today. But let me just say this to you all. So I don't want you to be misled. Shane let us know in advance that he was unable to be here because he had someone commit him to something and he had no control over it. But he wants to be on the schedule. So I just want to take a moment to share a story with you, if you don't mind. So I think it's kind of amazing, the feeling we have when we step outside and feel the crisp, cool breeze and relish the beautiful rays of sunshine that we've been so graciously gifted. To me, this is the perfect weather to usher in the holiday season. Over the course of our lives, no doubt, many of us have been told that there's something quite magical about this particular time of year. Now, whether the tales we've been told are genuinely a reflection or a recount of what was, or whether we've been told, or whether we believe the tales so much that we've allowed ourselves to guide our actions to make it what we expect it to be. Either way, the outcome is the same. We give, we smile, we sing, we relish the special moments we create with music in our hearts and souls, and it feels great. During this holiday season, I am ever so hopeful that all the ills of the world would be cured. Whether those ills include depression, hate, anger, loneliness, distance, disobedience, estranged relationships, COVID, cancer, broken hearts, and even hopelessness. This, my friends, is the time when the cure for such ills is most needed and most palatable. The cure is not some potion in a bottle or vaccination in a syringe. I believe the cure is a delicate combination of joy, love, hope, peace, laughter, appreciation, respect, support, forgiveness, and thanksgiving. These are the things that we really want to be contagious. We need these things to spread like gossip among church folk. So, allow me, the reason I brought these samples, because I want to tell you a little bit about some conversations that I've had over the last almost 5 years. This here is my folder that I got when I got my blue official badge with my certificate. Carol, I think you were involved in this. Where's Carol? I think you were involved in this. Jack and Keith Deloche was the president at the time. Joelle Ruthven, where's Joelle? You were instrumental, obviously. This is my first Paul Harris Fellow. This came under the leadership of Jack Lomick when he encouraged. With his charisma, you couldn't deny him, right? I have about 4 or 5 of these. Anybody know what this is? This is a consolation for being a speaker. I call it a gift.
You're gonna get another one.
I call it a gift, but let me tell you the first one I got it, I sat down. When the meeting was over, I took it, I walked out the door, I put it on the seat of my car, and I said, oh my gosh, this weekend I'm gonna read this entire thing. I'm dead serious. And my mission was accomplished.
Yeah.
I literally thought I was about to read a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know was a notebook, but I was excited about reading it. I promise you I was excited. And then this, I did have the opportunity to read this piece that was put together under the leadership of President Lomick as well, and phenomenal. And if you don't have one of these, you need it. So these are better than the samples that you had hoped to receive. But I want to tell you something. I want to share a story with you that some of you may have heard already. So I vividly recall my mentor sharing this story with me when I was slated to take on a leadership role in a student organization at Mississippi State University. And from that point forward, she gave it to me on a slip of paper, and I kept that slip of paper, and I still have it. And she said, use it anytime you're in a leadership role. And I want to share this with you all. It amuses me to think that your organization spends so much time looking for new members when I was there all the time. Do you remember me? I'm the fellow who came to every meeting, but nobody paid attention to me. I tried several times to be friendly, but everyone seemed to have his own words to talk, his own friends to talk to and sit with. I sat down among some unfamiliar faces several times, but they didn't pay much attention to me. I hoped someone would ask me to join one of the committees or somehow participate or contribute, but no one did. Finally, because of illness, I missed a meeting. The next month, no one asked me where I'd been. I guess it didn't matter very much whether I was there or not. On the next meeting date, I decided to stay home and watch a good television show. When I attended the next meeting, no one asked me where I'd been the month before. You might say I'm a good person, You might say I'm a good Rotarian with a responsible job and love for my community. You might say I'm a good member. I pay my dues thanks to Julie before July 1st. Is Julie here? Because I did pay her this year before July 1st. And I attend most of the meetings. You know who else I am? I'm the member who never came back. Now, isn't that an interesting message for leadership? But I will tell you the one place that it doesn't seem to fit in this club. In March 2017, it became official under the leadership of then President Keith DeLoach that I became a Rotarian. Joelle Ruthven, my sponsor, stood beside me and welcomed me with great pride. Shortly thereafter, Don Selvage approached me. He had been asking me to join Rotary for years. And he came to me and said, I'm so proud of you, and you have to recruit more people. Do you know you're the first African-American female to join this Rotary Club? I looked at him and said, Darren, that's absolutely not true. Come with me. And I took him back there in front of the beverage stand and says, Joel, he can't be telling the truth. Do you remember this, Don? I said, he said that I'm the first African-American female to join Rotary. That's not true. And Joel just smiled. Well, driving back to my office that day, I called my sister Marilyn in Virginia and told her about the conversation. She, of all people, know the conversations that we've had over the years and how I did not ever want to be the first Black anything unless it came with $1 million. Things like being paid to live on Mars, being the first woman to heal people with the simple touch of my hand. That doesn't require a million, but you get my drift. I recall during the conversation saying it was too great of a burden to bear in this day and age to be the first African American anything, because there are too many stereotypes to tear down. And then I was reminded of the conversation that I had with my mom before she passed about being the first. She said, honey, your job is to blaze a trail for others to follow. Whatever you do it with genuineness, with care and concern for others, and integrity, and always do it with God by your side. Then I got schooled here at Rotary by Sushil Koso. I was informed early on that when the president asks you to do something, you do not say no. Well, they got the picture. Well, I violated the first rule not long within me being official. Sushil came to me and she asked me, she said, well, she phrased it like this: the president asked for me to have a co-chair for spring of session, and I want it to be you. And I said, what is spring of session? And she explained it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I have too much going on at work right now. Okay, I declined and informed her of that. I felt terrible, but I'm so glad that I did not get ejected from this club, because she could have told. Now, as we have transitioned over the years from when I joined, I have assessed the leadership and members of this club, and here's my submission. We've had some amazing presidents who sit here often in meetings and are willing to share their wisdom and guidance. I've sat with the fireside chats with the past presidents, and it has been absolutely amazing. I am amazed to see how people want to make it to this meeting. And it's not just always about the speaker. Our past presidents are jewels to behold. And every single president since I've been a part of this Rotary Club, I've assessed. Keith DeLoach, he seemed like the quiet, calm one. Jack Lohman, the creative, witty, and inclusive one. Joelle Ruthven, the no-nonsense, matter-of-fact, slightly demanding one. Carol Wallace, the funny, curious, and compassionate one. Joel Ivy, the productive, efficient, and attentive one. Nathan Donham. The thoughtful, open billboard for the four-way test. Nathan, every single president, it's my belief that every single president that I've been blessed to witness in action has been the right one at the right time. Fast forward to March 2020, close to the end of President Carroll's year and the beginning of President Joel Ivy's year, when COVID joined every club in the nation. I found myself highly disappointed when meetings had to be canceled. What I reflected on was the fact that it wasn't about the speaker, but about being in the presence of people who greet each other at the door with joy as you enter, who sit beside you and discuss the latest football scores, family celebrations, graduations, marriages, new births, deployments, and more. I watched members and leaders scramble quickly to find locations and explore virtual options to keep members engaged and concerned, especially during tested times. Many were concerned that more seasoned members would not be able to connect with technology and strategies. And so strategies were put in place to reach out to make sure that we had the options for our members. The goal was to adjust to a different way to fellowship with one another. And no matter how the numbers seemed to dwindle, the mission to stay engaged was accomplished. Members continued to check on each other and to find out how people were doing. We have been through a lot over the past 2 years, but even through the trials, what we have witnessed has been a true test of this Rotary Club's resilience. And I am of the opinion we passed the test with flying colors. This club, with its dedicated, compassionate, giving, and caring members, have proven that we have the cure to many of the ills I spoke earlier. So as we usher in this holiday season, let's heal hearts, minds, and souls with the overabundance of joy, love, hope, peace, laughter, appreciation, respect, support, forgiveness, and thanksgiving that we have consistently demonstrated over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. You know, as president, you have a lot of jobs, and for me, job number one, which was pretty easy to fulfill, was surrounding myself by people much smarter than me. And by all the people that you saw come up here today, and almost all of you out there, it was pretty easy to do. But thank you, Stacy, for stepping in and taking this program today. All right, I'd like to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians, Eric, Beth, Jay, and Jackie, and visiting Rotarian, Steve Moore. It's not this, it is a Steve Moore from Lake Wales Breakfast. All right, next week's program is new member profiles. And for the joke of the week, here we go. Dad, can you explain a solar eclipse to me? No, son. We are adjourned.